Alrighty, guys, let's do this. I thought, why not just jump on, do a little live session, see how we fare on a crypto trade, see if the strategy works on crypto as well. So, with that being said, let's dive in. I'm actually testing the strategy on a kind of a more passive mode at the moment. I think I could be a bit more aggressive. My target was to basically hit the 10% in a month. I'm slightly off target now. It's been about actually not really because I started this. I'll show you this quickly. I started this on only on the 6th of Jan. So essentially it's only just been 2 weeks. So 10 days. So I essentially still have another 5 days to hit my target of 2.5. Yeah, 2.5, because I'm looking at getting 5% per month. That's my target, right? Yes, that does mean it's gonna take a little bit longer to get to a challenge, but at the end of the day, I want this to be a kind of a guaranteed, we're gonna get our account, we're gonna get, you know, anywhere from basically, I'm looking for 2.5% per every 2 weeks, so we're looking for 5% per month. If I can take the, bi-weekly, we're gonna be looking at 2.5% every 2 weeks. So that's kind of the target. Um, that's what we're looking for. So we'll see how we go. So this has kind of just been my little test. This is what I've been doing. Um, and even though these days are showing as losses, they're not really losses because basically these trades are open and they're kind of getting closed through the night. So in terms of timings and stuff, these aren't 100% where I'll trade, but it almost doesn't matter where I trade as long as I'm getting a general idea of the direction. I'm trading the most basic strategy you could ever trade. Sorry, hold on. Let me just turn off this music. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. And forgot that was on. All right, so let me go back to this. So, like I said, I'm trading the most basic strategy, guys. I am using a very simple method to give me an idea of where I want to trade, which direction I'm heading. I will also use Confluence sometimes in the terms of that website Finviz, which is basically just give me an idea of roughly what direction that the market is currently moving. Right? I look at strengths, and that is not 100%. It's just a confluence, right? So if I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I think price is going to be heading up, I'm going to be looking at buys, and then Finviz is confirming that, it just gives me a little bit more confidence. And what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to just fine tune everything before I start my challenge on Monday, right? On Monday, I'm starting a 5% challenge, going in for 100K. And that's basically, let me just do something here. I just want to do a test. Alrighty, let's have a quick look here. See, that's not working. I don't know why that's not working. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's go back to this one. All right. Let me go back to this screen. Okay, so where was I? So yeah, essentially I am looking at starting 5%ers on Monday. My target is going to be, I'm looking for anywhere from $250 to $500 per day, right? My main target is $500. If it's a good day, $500. If it's not a good day, I'm still happy with kind of a break even. But I am taking more than one trade. Now, what I consider one trade is multiple trades for a trade idea, right? So if I have my trade idea and I say, okay, I think I'm going to be buying here, I'll be placing multiple trades just in case, we're coming in a bit deeper into that position. So I'm looking now at keeping that to 3 because what I want to be doing is I want to be risking 0.3% on the first position. And if that goes to my target, so be it. I should be making about 100, 100 and my target is about $100 on that first trade. Yes, it doesn't sound like much, but I get that right 3 or 4 times, I've got my trade. If I open into the second position is going to be 0.5% risk. And then I can push for about 150, maybe even 200. So that second position being open, if I still feel like I'm right, then I can push for a bit more because I've got two positions. One is a slightly bigger risk percentage. And then the final position is just my kind of get out of jail card, essentially, where I'm going to be putting it on 1%. And if I'm wrong and it goes all the way, it's going to be basically about 1.9. So just shy of 2%. So 2% is my cutoff. If I'm wrong, I lose 2%, right? So that's how I'm playing it. And we're going to just see how that goes. So with that being said, let's dive into a crypto trade. We'll see what we're going to trade. No idea what the markets look like. So we're going to have a look. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. Okay, I've just got to connect. 1 second, guys. All right, let's go. So today's target is, why did it fail? Today's target is, am I on the right? Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. We should be back. Just had a little cut in my connection there, but we are back. So let's go back to the screen over here. Just connect again. Not sure what happened there. All right, so we should be good now. Keeps saying it's failing to connect. Not sure why it's not connecting. Is it because I'm not on the right thing here? Let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Pepperstone. Right, so let's have a look. Oh, this is really annoying. I'm not sure if they're doing some kind of work in the back end on. There we go. There we go. All right, so you can see our balance is 916. Target for today is, let's just call it anywhere from $5 to $10. That's our target. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to delete all my markings. We're going to go to the 4 hour. Started 4 hour. I can do a little bit of extra kind of confluence on my decision, on my direction. So you can see here on the daily, we did push down, push back up, and we now potentially are pushing down again. See what that looks like on the 1 Okay, so we are pushing down now. What I am going to do is look at what this looks like on. All right, so let's have a look at what this looks like on lower time frames. If we can see this move here, can we potentially have a little bit of a sell trade over here? So at the moment, just diving deeper, let's see where this starts to retrace. If this is retracing here, we're going to start looking at getting in on maybe the 38, sorry. My next would be the 76. And then after that, I'll probably look much higher at like the up there. And then up here would be my cutoff. That's where I'd be looking at my cutoff. I'm cutting off there, put that in black. And so we could potentially look at something here. I'll just wait to see what this does. Okay, in the meantime, maybe we can just go back and do some more testing. If you guys are wondering what I'm using for my back testing, it's called FX Replay. I've used it for a while now, and I really do like it. It's a great tool for this specific type of, for your back testing, because you can. The thing I do like about it is you can set it that you cannot go backwards, right? So once that candle has printed, that's it. You cannot go backwards. And I do it that way because I don't ever want to have to go backwards, because that's when you start going, oh, I would have entered there. I swear I would have entered there, but you've already seen a candle play out, right? So it's so easy to say that. And you've got to cut that out. And if there's a way that you can cut that out, do it. And on this software, I can do that. Right. So we're going to go to the next day. So that's kind of the London session when I would start trading from. So at the moment, I've only got gold, I've got GBP USD, and I've got Euro USD. Now, generally, I'll probably trade more pairs than this if I am in the live. But, all right, let's have a look what we're looking at here. We've kind of pushed up. We're coming back down. We've pushed back up. We're pushing back down. Nothing really I'd like to look at there. See what that looks like on the daily. So on the daily, we can just draw up I do have these. So annoying. This is the only thing that annoys me, is it keeps hiding these. So what I'll just do is just pop the short off and then back on again. Then we should have it there. Okay. So we had this big push up. So we are kind of pushing up on the daily. So what I would look at maybe is, so we kind of tapped into that already. So higher time frame, I like to just have them as black lines. These are my kind of more solid lines. My blue lines are going to be my kind of entry areas. So we're looking at that. If we were to push even further down, it would be there. 0.61 would be there, and then the 70. If we're passing the 70, then obviously we're wrong, right? This is on the daily. So, we've already tapped into the first. So as you can see, we've tapped there, and then we've had a bit of a rejection off of that. So are we pushing up higher? If that is the case, we would possibly be looking at this. We tapped into the 61. The next area would be the 76, which is very close. I mean, they're very close, those two together. So I'll delete that one for now. Yeah, we'll delete that one for now. So we could potentially be pushing further down. Let's see if we can get a trade in on here. So we're going to be looking at a buy. Have a look at the 1 hour. What do we look like? We did have that pull back, push back up. So if we are going to trade, we just got to look at what is our target. So let's put the target on the 1 hour. where we are now. So our initial target would be probably let's get the 50. Get the 50. That'll be our target. So let's have a look what this looks like on the 50-minute. We're just kind of going down and down and down. And then the 5 minutes. And on the 5-minute, we want to just see some kind of signs that this is going to start playing out in our direction, right? So there you see, that's why you don't just enter. All right, so I'm happy to kind of look at getting my first entry over here. So we're going to take this movement there. I'm going to say my first entry, I'm happy to get in on the, let's go to the 50. If we get to the 50, that'll be a blue because this is an entry. And then what will our other positions look like? So based on this, I would say, let's just draw that again. Draw this move. We'll do the whole move actually. More on the 15. Our next entry we can look at, because remember, we're only looking at 3 entries, guys, over there. And then the third will be, let's do something like that. Now, all I'm doing, guys, is I'm just protecting myself. And if I'm wrong, I know what my loss is going to be. And that's it. That is as basic as it gets, right? So now let's go in and put in our positions. So I want to open my first position there. Remember, I said my target was going to be up there. I can always manage my way out as well. And I am actually going to give myself a very big stop. I'm going to kind of put it all the way under there. Because at the end of the day, all I'm looking for here is if we're risking 0.3, what am I getting out of it? 100. So let's just, I don't mind taking 100 there. Happy with that. Place order 97.
What do you feel like?
So we take it there. Yeah, just live. I don't know. What do you want to have? Remember, if you talk, you're going to be on my live. So you're going to have to sign.
You're on live now?
I'm on live, yeah. Just choosing what to have for lunch. I don't know. You choose. All right. So that's where we are. Let's have a quick look at this. What are we looking at? What was I looking at here? I wanted to sell, right? Yeah. So this is perfect. So let's actually start looking at entering here. Why the hell not? Oh, come on, man. Keep disconnecting here. Let's see if we can connect again. Come on, Pepperstone. Don't do this to me. All right, there we go. We're going to trade, guys. We're going in for the trade, right? So first trade, we're going to be looking at a limit. We're going to enter in off of, let's go there, actually. Our stop loss is going to be nice and high. Exactly what you saw me doing now on the back test. This is actually for a sell, sorry. So yes, up there. That is way too much risk. So I can't risk. That's the max I can. I can't go lower than 2% risk, right? Because it is a smaller account. And then my TP, I'm just going to be looking for about $5. That's it. So we're going to place that. There we go. Now for the next position, we again are going to go for sell. We're going to look at entering about over there. Stop loss is going to be up there again. Our TP will probably be a bit lower. What's that stop there? It's kind of the same. All right, so slightly higher than we'd probably like, but it is what it is, right? So let's put that one in. There we go. And then we're going to have another one over here. So what we could actually do, we could force the first one in already just because we are live and you guys don't want to watch a potential trade. You want to watch a trade, right? So let's just force the first one in already. So how we're going to do this, we're going to literally just follow this one all the way down. Any kind of move back on that is going to set us in. Okay, so We'll just keep pulling that one down. Oh shucks, this one we need to actually set that one. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see if we get triggered in. So we're essentially doing exactly the same thing. Pushing down a little bit. Just wait for this to kick us in, and then we're going to be in a trade, right? So this is our live trade for the day. We're on Bitcoin. Yeah, screw it. I'm going in. I'm going to close this one. All right, we're in. We're not faffing around here. Let's just get straight in, guys. What the hell? And like I said, I'm just looking for about, I'm just going to go to the bottom of there. It's only 340. So let's look for about 4. 4, I'm happy with that. See how that goes. This is no longer going to be one. I'm just going to pull this one a bit. No, we'll leave it. It's fine. All right. So there we go. That's our trade for the day. We are looking at Bitcoin, USD, and we are in the trade. Okay. I went in a bit earlier than I probably should have, just because I just want to get in the trade, right, for you guys. All right. Let's go back to this setup over here. So that was our first. Now we're looking at the second. We were looking at that. But now this is going to go to a 0.5. Hold on. It's not quite right because we need to make sure. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so 0.5 on this one. Save that. And then this one over here is going to be a 1. All right. Yeah, let's do that. So this will be a 1. And then if we need to come in, if I feel like I can risk coming in with another trade, we will. All right, so let's see how this goes. Okay, we should have already been in that one, and now it's kind of going away without us. So what we can do is we can just pull this one up a bit, see if we can get in on a retracement over there. This one can also follow a little bit. Okay, that one's gone away without us. We should have actually entered directly, kind of like we do in the lives anyway. So it is what it is. We missed that one. All right, so let's just delete everything, and then we can go and look at, what time are we at now? 9. Okay, so I've set this to my own time. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Let's say we've got to force ourselves into a trade. So we can see that we are definitely pushing lower. Let's take this as our move. We've tapped into the 61. So maybe we trade off of that. We've got the 70 over there. And we've got the 60, the entry. Okay. So we're looking at a sell here. So let's go to the 1 hour, see what this looks like. Pushing up. So this is what we can use for our target. So I'm going to take my target to there for now. It might change. You know, at the end of the day, you let the market kind of dictate what you're going to do. So you look at your build up and everything like that, but then that's not necessarily what you're actually going to be trading. You kind of let the market kind of keep playing it out for you. Let's look at the 15-minute push up. All right, so we're consolidating now. So what I want to do is I'm going to take a sell off of this right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sell. If it breaks there, I'm going to have a very big stop just to protect myself. So this was my initial take profit. So I'm going to just pull it down a little bit. Let's see what that looks like in terms of a 59. This is a stop. So if we have to, we'll push it to the bottom of there. So it'll be won't be a full trade. Won't be my full kind of, you know, trade that I'm looking for. Is what it is. Next position is going to be this over here. We are going to be taking, this will be a limit, and we are going to be looking for a 0.5%. And then we're going to go in over there with a 1%. All right, so let's see how this one plays out. Let's delete that. All right, so, okay, we are in that one already. And we're in that one already. So at this point, we are $31 in profit. So this is where, you know, you've got to make sure if you want to play it risky, you don't take that first opportunity, right? So this is your first opportunity. You take it or you are risking, right? So let's see. I'm going to risk a little bit more now because I still have one position and I want to kind of squeeze a bit more. Remember, this is only my second position. So I want to squeeze a bit more out of this. I want to be looking at least 75 from this one. Okay, so let me just bring my take profits to about there, which should definitely yield me more than 75% if we tap into that, right? So let's have a look how this plays out. So that's $90 now. Could have taken it. I didn't. This is what I'm talking about. The risk is on you, right? You've had 2 or 3 opportunities at this point. Do you keep pushing it? Or no? Okay, there we should have actually taken our thing now. 71. All right, there we go. We're out. So we did take about $100 there. But this is how you've got to play it, right? In a live market, I'm probably going to be taking that first or second, but this is only my second trade. So that second trade is kind of looking for opportunities to get a bit more out of it, right? So this one you possibly could have squeezed a bit more. Let's see where it goes. You possibly could have, or worst case scenario, you go up and you tap into this, and then you're just looking at getting a small loss or break even, right? Then you can choose, okay, I'm happy to hit like a $20, $30, $40 loss. Or you're leaving it to go for the full 2%, right? So let's have a look where this is. Okay, moving kind of slow at the moment. This is the other thing, right? You've got to also look at trying to get into the market when you have higher volatility, when the market is moving. Otherwise, you're just going to be watching a pretty stagnant trade, right? Which is kind of what we're doing here. But I just wanted to get in a trade for you guys and see how that goes. Alrighty. So that is, what is the time now? It's now 1 o'clock. So we definitely have time for another trade. What we were looking for here, we were looking for a sell. So I could still potentially squeeze out another sell on this one. So let's see, go back. We're tapping in on this one. This could be our first entry. No, let's not. I don't want to mess around with it. So we're going to just delete everything. We'll go back to the 4 hour, just reset, and kind of look at it all again, right? Let's have a look at GBP USD. Kind of same story here. We're still pushing down. So here again, we have got this big push down over here. So we could look at getting in. This is on the 4 hour, remember, guys. So remember, the bigger your time frame, the longer it's going to take for anything to kind of play out. So we have just tapped into that. So we could be selling off of that. The next area would probably be there. And then obviously our kind of stop, we want to look at our stop being above there, right? So let's delete that. So we're looking at, let's have a look what this looks like on the 1 hour. We're looking at sells. So this is nice. We can take it from there. It's probably going to be pretty much the same. We're tapping into that. We can push off of that. So now we can look at where our positions are going to be. So we're actually right on that now. I'm just moving this to do with my 1 hour. We have another there. another there. So these are going to be more kind of higher opportunity. I mean, higher potential for these actually coming in because we are on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 15 minute. What are we looking on the 15 minutes? It's pretty much the same thing. So now what I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to go to the 5 minute. I'm going to just wait to see if I have a kind of an entry. Okay. That's all I'm going to look for. All right, that's it. I'm going to take the entry off of that. So we're going to go into a direct. Let me just put my order in, sell. Now, obviously, my stop is going to be way above this. My take profit is going to be kind of bottom of this. Let's see what that looks like in terms of actual profit, about 77. So what I could do here is I can push it to the bottom. So that's what I want from it. We're going to place this 0.3. It'll yield me about $100, which is exactly what I want. My next position I'm going to look at entering is basically up here. This is going to be could actually go here. Let's go to there, and that'll be a 0.5. Take that. This up here is going to be my final position at a 1. Right, so pretty much the same thing as we did on Euro USD, pretty much a similar kind of setup. Sell limit. Okay, we're in that position. Now we're in that. So essentially, we're just going to be pulling out take profit closer. What do you want to get?
Show my heart.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
The usual.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Lemon or Sekela?
For me, Sekela. Chicken, baby. Yeah. What's your guys' go-to chicken flavor? Pop that down in the comments. I'd love to know what your go-to flavor for chicken is. Grilled chicken. What's your go-to? When I'm normally like a lemon or Sekela, which is like just a barbecue, your straight up barbecue. A little bit spicy. You guys like spice or not? Let me know. All right, so let's keep with this one. Remember, we want to kind of push out a little bit on this one. So my target for this one, I'm going to stick it to keep it at 90. At this point, you can see price is kind of still pushing up heavily against us there. Is it going to turn around? At this point, you'd be considering just pulling out here. Like if this was a live market, I would be saying, okay, I'm just going to take it. I did see this move. It's kind of pushing back. So maybe you can hold it a little bit. Okay. News just absolutely wiped us out there, guys. So that's it. The cool thing with that is, okay, I didn't know news was there, so I probably would not have traded that. 100% would not have traded that. It's annoying because it's kind of ruining my my stats. So I don't know why. Normally this does show news, but that's definitely a news. Have I got news on here? I don't think I've got any news. So this is something I've got to now set up just to make sure I can see the news, because I 100% would not have gone into that knowing that news was coming up. So this is also something that's worth noting. Don't trade into news because of this. But at the same time, if this was my old strategy, that potentially would have wiped out my account completely. I would have failed my challenge. Now I at least protected myself. I'm kind of back to square one. Yes, it sucks, but you're protecting yourself, right? So I took the maximum loss I could, which was 2%. It's actually 1.9%. That's going to happen, right? It's going to happen some days. And then you can choose how aggressive you're going to be on these. It's annoying me because it's taken me so long to get these stats. Now one trade kind of, has wiped out all my hard work. And I would not have been in that trade because I didn't realize that we were in news there. So that's annoying. That's why I love live testing so much. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. I've been live testing. And let's close this because that's just peed me off. All right, so let's see how this trade goes. We are currently at about 58 cents in profit. Yeah, but super annoying. I probably would have got out there at about $40 profit. So it still would have been a profitable trade and we would have moved on. And that's why I love trading live, right? And this Pepperstone account is exactly that, right? We started this account at $850 in 2 weeks. So we've grown this account from 850 to 916. We were actually up to about 920, I think 924. We took a losing day. Again, it was a day that I had 4 opportunities to get out. 2 were break even. I mean, 2 were with a profit and 2 were break even. So kind of annoying because I should have taken the opportunity. Twice I wasn't actually in front of the screen. The other 2 times I were, and I chose not to. And this is why you've got to try and, say, if it's time to get out, it's time to get out, right? Don't be too greedy. And that's why I'm now working on these 3 positions, right? 3 positions, that's all it takes. Because I used to look at 4 or 5, and you guys would have seen previous lives, I was doing 4 or 5. The issue with that is some of the prop firms don't like you because they will kind of probably say that's grid style trading, which it is. But I don't look at it as a grid. I just look at it as one trade idea where I'm basically placing 4 different positions in that same trade. So that one trade is just broken up into 4 or 5. That's how I look at it. But the prop firms might not. So now what I'm thinking is for the prop firms, break it into 3. Just break it into 3. And if they question it, I'll explain to them that's just how my setup is, right? That's what I do. So that's where we are. So let's see how this trade plays out. It's going to be a little bit slow today, I think. But you guys should let me know, you happy to just kind of sit it out, watch the lives, chat about whatever comes up. I know we don't have a huge amount of views at the moment, at the moment, 2 of you guys on. Thank you very much for joining. Where are you guys from, the 2 that are on? Where are you guys checking in from? Where are you guys joining from? Would love to know. But yeah, I think once I start the challenge and we're looking at 100K as our capital rather than a demo $900, which I think, people maybe are a little bit, they don't really want to see small amounts. People want to see big amounts. They want to see me either win big or lose big because that's entertaining, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be giving the bigger account. We're going to be trading that every single day. I'm going to do my best to come on live and do a trade, or at least give you my setup or what I'm looking at, whether or not it's going to play out throughout, because sometimes these trades can take 2-3 hours to play out, 4 hours in some cases. So what I will try to do is be on for at least the analysis and maybe getting into a trade. And then if I have to leave, I will always either give you the update in the next live. So the beginning of the live will always go over the previous days. Or I could just do a short at the end of the day to just do a very brief recap, which is kind of what I have been doing as well. So that's how we can break it down. That's what we can do. And I think that'd probably be the best way to do it, to be honest. Yeah, but you guys let me know. I am going to try and schedule these or at least put on a schedule to say that I'm going to be joining in the next 15 minutes to 30 minutes, just to give a bit of a warning rather than just going live, because, maybe people are not too aware of me going live at the moment. So we're just going to try and slowly build the numbers that start viewing. Even if I can get 10 to 20 viewing on every session, I'll be super stoked. That'll be amazing. So if you guys are following, please just like the video, help me out, subscribe if you haven't, and let's grow this thing. Let's start getting on a daily trade where you guys can join if you want, but just bear in mind that you take the risk. It's your own risk, and you've got to make sure that you are you understand what your risk is, you understand what you're doing, you understand everything about your own risk, and don't blame me when I take a loss, because I will take losses, and I'm not guaranteeing anything, right? I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm telling you what my target is. I'm telling you what my goals are, and whether I hit them or not, or whether you hit them or not, it's not my fault, right? So you can choose to trade with me, but make sure you are aware that that is at your own risk, right? I will be starting a sort of a members only section soon where we actually will go in a little bit deeper. We will kind of talk a little bit more about why we're going in. I'll kind of go over the strategy a little bit more. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for all of that, because that is going to come soon. But I can't just release members only section when I don't have a huge amount viewing yet. So at the moment, it's just the grind. I'm just, grinding it out for, in some cases, one viewer, which kind of sucks, but I understand, it is what it is. You're not going to just get hundreds of live viewers overnight. You gotta grind for it. You gotta work for it, and that's kind of where I am, right? And I think I have to prove myself, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to prove to myself, and I'm doing that by starting a challenge on Monday and doing this live in front of you guys with a challenge. Target being to get funded with the 5%ers. I'm going to show you guys something here. TradeZilla. Oh, no, not that one. Sorry. So I've just signed up for a journaling platform. So we're going to have all of our trades all journaled, all tracked. Everything is going to be really properly done so that I can start releasing my journal to you guys. It's going to be released. So this might be a members or a Discord only. If you're in the Discord, I'm going to make that available to you. You guys can have a look. I'm going to put everything out there. Everything is going to be completely upfront, and there's going to be no kind of faffing about, So that is coming. So let me just show you that. I forgot I was actually going to show you that. Let's go TradeZilla. So this is the platform. It's pretty cool. Okay, there we're in. So it's pretty cool here, guys. This over here is not mine. This is just a demo account, just to give an idea. But this is not going to be the account we're going to be tracking. This is all accounts. So this is a demo account. So I'm going to add my 5%'ers account to this, and everything's going to be tracked. I know on 5%ers you have a dashboard and it's all tracked anyway, but I want to kind of track everything I do. Everything I do, I want to track. So this gives you a cool idea of, let's just go to the demo account. You're currently viewing the demo trades. So this gives you an idea of like what it would look like. It would give you, everything, your Zeller score, your progress tracker, what that looks like on a calendar. So this is going to be very cool to see exactly, am I keeping track of my target? Am I hitting my, 1%, 2%? I mean, 0.5 to 1% per day. How close or far am I to that? Where am I taking losses? And it'll be a great way to kind of just keep track of everything, right? So very cool. I'm excited about this, and I'm excited that I can bring this to you guys. There's the report section where I can kind of give reports, and I can print those up. I think I can convert them to Excel sheets as well. So then that's what I will make available to you guys. And there is also trade replay and like back testing as well. So I want to test that and see what that back testing, this is back testing. I want to see what that's about. We'll have a look at that. This might be a case of, I don't think it's quite good as FX replay, but we'll have a look. So these are cool things that I'm going to be bringing, just to make it all clear, and just as little BS as possible. I'm not trying to sell a course. I'm not trying to BS you guys into thinking that I'm making tons of money. I don't know. Just to sell a course. That's not the type of trader I am. I'm someone who's going to be legit, just showing you everything I do, and you guys are just going to basically be joining for the ride. And if you like what I'm doing, I am going to make available a members only. It's not going to be expensive, but I need some way of kind of like getting something back for my time, and that's how I'm going to do it. And it also gives a way of it's a way of me giving more to the people that I know want more, right? And also for members only, there's going to be an amazing opportunity. It's going to be subscribers and members. I might look at adding the members to the YouTube channel, so you become a member through YouTube. I haven't quite decided yet. And for those, I will be giving the opportunity for initially one member where you will get 20% off the prop farming blueprint, which is the other product I use to get funded. I've already been funded over $1 million with that over time. Currently, I'm sitting on, I think, 350,000 funded, kind of restarting and going again. And essentially, I get a kickback. You're right. If you sign up, I get 40% as a commission. So I'm going to give 20%, which is 50% of what I make, back to you guys, which essentially means that you guys can sign up for the product at 20% discount. And then on top of that, I'm going to be you get given a coach that you will kind of use to help you through everything, but I will be your one-on-one mentor, and I will be with you until you get a funded account. So that is coming up, which is going to be very cool, and it's going to be a cool thing to track as well. If that person is happy for me to track that, and there'll be some more content that'll be available on our channel here. So this is very slow, guys. Very, very slow. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to leave it there for now, because we have already been on for, how long have we been on for? I'm not even sure, to be honest. I think it's over half an hour now. So what I'll do is I will let this play out, and I will just bring a little short later to let you guys know exactly what happened with this trade. And yeah, so the main thing from this was I just wanted to jump on to kind of cover things, show you a little bit of my back testing. I've got to make sure I can sort the back testing out, because at the moment, not having the news there is a problem. I've got to sort that out, because I would never have taken that trade, or at least I would have closed that trade where we were about $40 in profit. But it is what it is, right? Now we know we've got to get news on. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. I will let you know how this trade plays out. You can see not much happening at the moment, very kind of stagnant. Yeah, but for whoever did join, thank you very much for joining. And I will be back on Monday. And it's going to be a good one, because that is going to be the start of the 5%ers and kind of taking it to a funded account. And the whole idea with the 5%ers one is I want to start growing that account. My target is the big, right? I want to get the scaling going. My first target is to get to 500K scaled, then the million, and we're just going to keep on going. And we're going to see, my target is only going to be 2 to 2.5% every 2 weeks, right? But you imagine once you get to 1 million funded, that's 20 grand every 2 weeks. I definitely am not saying no to that. So we'll see how that goes, see how the progress is. Yeah, and as I kind of do better, maybe I'll start doing well with my payouts on this one. I am doing well on the Titan and the prop farming blueprint. I'm doing well on that. I am kind of currently averaging about 5 grand a month profit from that, so going very well. But with this one, maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of start giving back, right? So when I start getting to my target of 5 grand on that account alone per month, I'll be starting to give some giveaways. I'll start giving you guys some free challenges with 5%ers and others. So keep an eye out for that, and make sure you are subscribed, because it's only going to be the subscribers that will have access to these giveaways. So as I do better, I'm definitely going to be giving back to my community. So it makes sense for you guys to help grow the community. Let's get strong, and the giveaways are going to start coming your way very, very soon. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it for now. Thank you very much for joining, and we will see you guys on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. And if you are trading over the weekend, trade safe, guys. We'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.